A good day to everyone. So, welcome to your contemporary world subject. And we are going to take up or to talk about the first chapter of understanding what globalization is, its impact, and dynamics. So, the first chapter is going to we're going to talk about what globalization is and how it affects our world. So we will be exploring the process of businesses and organizations operating internationally and consider how globalization leads to the free movement of goods, services, and people. So when we talk about globalization, it's something that affects us uh, from anywhere around the world. So it includes goods, services, and people. What are the examples of goods? So they are the soap you use in the bathroom, the shampoo you used this morning, the food that you are eating in your table for breakfast or lunch or dinner today. And services would be how these goods were delivered to you and who are the people involved in the production and the distribution of these goods, which can come from all around the world or anywhere in the Philippines near you, right? So globalization defined would be the interaction and integration driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. So when we say that international trade and investments, these are how the goods were delivered from one place to another, and who are the people who invested the time, the money for the production of these goods, and how these goods are transported and how communications are done from one place to another, from far away or from somewhere near. Globalization also impacts the culture. Okay, and later we will be talking furthermore what how it impacts culture, environment, our political system, the economic development, and human physical well-being. Paano ito, how it affects our well-being even in the human level na like for us we are normal people, we live our everyday lives, but how do you think globalization has affected your daily life? And it has. So this is question number one. So we will be learning about uh, the further definitions of globalization. So before we proceed, I'd like you to prepare a short band paper. And on the front part of the band paper, I'd like you to write activity one. Okay? Activity one, and leave that side, the front side, blank. Now, at the back part of your band paper or your coupon band, I'd like you to write questions or prepare to write down questions 1 to 7, and you will have to answer those questions on that coupon band that you have prepared. The front side would be something else. I'll announce as I go through the lecture. I'll announce what that front part is, and the second part, the back part of your coupon band would be used for questions 1 to 7. Okay? So if you feel like you have any question at all during the lecture, please write it down on your notebook. And also don't forget to take down notes, because later on, before we proceed to the next chapter, I will have um, a recitation during our G-Meet to give a review on what has taken place on this lecture. If you learned something or if you have any questions, feel free to address that in our G-Meet next meeting or after this lecture that I will be giving you. So if we still have time, I will be joining again in a short G-Meet with you so that we can discuss whatever questions you have. Now, for slide number 3, I have here question number 1, and I don't want to have the same answer, no same answer from all of you. So if I check the answer to the question that is being presented here in slide number 3, how do you think globalization has affected your daily life? That's your question number 1. You can go back to it later once you have a clear understanding what globalization is, and you can answer question number 1 later. Now, if you think that you need to have a scratch paper first, you can put that or add that in your notebook as you take down the definitions that are very important in the lecture. Okay? So going back to definition of globalization, uh, in slide number 3, uh, this is question number 1. How do you think globalization has affected your daily life? So it was said here that it impacts culture, environment, political system, economic development, and human physical well-being. So later on, as we proceed, I'll be discussing how it affects all those aspects in our life. Now, on slide number 4, we have um, uh, kinds of globalization. I mean, the kinds that have been uh, that's have been affecting our culture. So there are two kinds. Kasi later I'll be talking about the types. So let's put it this way. These are the kinds of cultural globalization and hybridization that we can incorporate with our lesson. So we have cultural homogeneity and globalization, cultural heterogeneity, and hybridization. So when you say homo, it means one, okay? So increasing global or cultural sameness across the globe. So it means that uh, once a culture sees another culture, it combines and become as one, or it copies one culture from another. Okay, integration of one culture into a specific place. For example, it's often linked to cultural imperialism, just like what happened, they said, with the Americans. The Americans wanted to share their Western culture with the Eastern people. So what happened was there was cultural imperialism. Now, what they did is they spread their culture, their music, their power to the Eastern countries during the World War II, they said. And afterwards, Filipinos had been copying the culture of the Americans. So later, that would be called heterogeneity. Okay? But right now, when we say cultural imperialism, nawawala talaga yung original na culture ng isang lugar. Nilalamon niya, and it disappears and is replaced by altogether the culture of another country. So have you noticed any example of cultural homogeneity in your surroundings? For example, right now, 'di ba? Music in the K-pop culture, right? We have a lot of Filipinos already as K-pop fans, okay? So, ang culture nila kung minsan ay nahahalo, di ba? For example, clothing, okay? Sa pananamit, okay? Nawawala na si Maria Clara. And what happened is that we are copying the Western world. Nung nawala na si Maria Clara, di ba? So, if you watch the what do you call this one? Barbie Fortesa and another and Dennis Trillion, ano ba yung palabas nila? And the culture before of the Filipinos is so different from the culture of the modern Filipina. Si Maria Clara ay kakaiba talaga kay Barbie Fortesa, di ba? The way she dressed, the way she talks, and the way she moves. So when you say heterogeneity, it's the difference and diversity due to cultural mixing. So, nahahalo na. Kaso sa atin ang nangyari na wala na talaga, di ba? Nobody wears Maria Clara right nowadays except for costumes on dance productions or plays. But because of this cultural mixing, there are the differences and diversity is already very obvious. That's why meron na pong hybridization. So can you think of any cultural hybrids that you encounter in your daily life? That is question number 2. Okay? So cultural hybrids in your daily life, ano ba yung mga pare-pareho? Like uso sa hybrids natin. For example, sa food, di ba? Meron na tayong example ng Thai food. Meron na ring Indian, di ba? But they are not overtaking all the Filipino foods. Kasi hindi niya ma-achieve yung homogeneity. One culture across the country. Cannot. Hindi nila kaya kasi meron pa rin mga tumatangkilik ng Filipino food, American food, Thai food, or Japanese, di ba? Iba-iba. So, can you think again of other cultural hybrids na nangyayari sa buhay mo? And again, no same answer. Okay, so go back to slide number 4. Let's go back to slide number 4. Ay, ito nga, slide number 4 pa lang, sorry. So, slide number 4. Okay, because in slide number 5, we will have further example of cultural homogenization. So, when you say homogenization and hybridization, homogenization refers to the increasingly similarity of cultures in a way that makes them homogeneous or unified, while hybridization refers to the interaction between local cultures and global ones which lead to the transformation of mainstream cultures. Yun nga, sinasabi ko nga, an example is the styles of dress. So different cultures across the world have different attires based on their traditions, climate, religion, and other factors. However, as a result of cultural homogenization, the ways that people dress are increasingly looking similar across the globe, with items like jeans and t-shirts being widespread. So tulad po sa atin, di ba? Even women doesn't wear skirts anymore. We all wear slacks, even in the uniform ng mga professors or teachers. We often prefer to wear slacks. And in that way, the style of dressing of the Western world has already incorporated with the Eastern world. Okay? So, another example is like climate. Our Muslim brothers and sisters, right? When I was working in Indonesia, I was surrounded by people wearing clothes that cover them, women that are covered from head to foot. Parang minsan nakakahiya na nga kasi kami we're wearing slacks and jeans when they wear dress and the complete get-up na covered po yung kanilang katawan. And this cultural hybridization ay na-incorporate na rin dito, di ba? We have Muslim brothers and sisters who are also wearing them for everyday dito, di ba? Especially in our place here sa palengke namin dito sa Gate 2, Baguio Village, ay marami po tayong Muslim brothers and sisters na everyday po natin nakikita in the way they look based on their religion and traditions. Now, local and versus global cultural dynamics. Why are we taking up culture? Because culture is the way of life of the people. So in your culture, nandun po yung food, nandun yung clothes, nandun yung pag-uugali, the beliefs, the traditions, they are all in the cultural dynamics. So, sa base sa culture on globalization, ito ang ating mga important terminologies. We have cultural differentialism, we have cultural hybridization, cultural convergence, and ito pong tatlong to ay may pagkakaiba-iba. So, the global culture refers to the shared values, okay? The values, the beliefs, the norms, the customs, and practices that transcend national boundaries and are embraced by people worldwide. So, pag sinabi nilang Filipino, Filipinos are very good in being hospitable. So, they are good in the tourism business. They are good in taking care of people around the world. That's why nurses are in demand. Diba? So global culture encompasses collective experiences and traditions and expressions of diverse societies, fostering interconnectedness and cultural exchange in a global scale. Okay, when we say global scale, ang dami-dami na po nating OFWs, overseas Filipino workers. We are in demand. So it influences globalization, migration, technological advances. Bakit nagiging advanced tayo? It's because of the what do you call this one? Of the influences of the technology na nakikita natin every day. We copy what we see in Korea, we copy what we see in America, and the interplay between local and global identities. So example of these are cuisines or yung mga pagkain. Global cuisines like sushi and pizza in various countries. Sushi is for Japan, American naman ang pizzas or Italian. The social media also plays a platform of all the things that you want to share in Facebook and other Instagram, in YouTube. So it connects people from all over the parts of the world. Now, what do we call these three cultural dynamics? Okay, when we say cultural differentialism, cultures are unique and resist global influences. So when we say they resist global influence, parang ito yun eh, American versus Japanese culture. Okay, Japan even became a hermit kingdom and did not allow any foreigners or foreign influences to come into their land. Meron lang silang specific area wherein a part of the port pwede sa mga open siya para sa mga tao who wants to send or trade with the Japanese people. But they don't allow anybody to step on their island anywhere nung time na yun ang naging hermit kingdom ang Japan. It's because they want to resist global influences. Okay? So, Eastern and Western culture. Sa nowadays, di ba, they clash. In Western culture, yung elders nila, sinisend lang nila sa home for the aged. While here, in the Eastern culture, we don't want to do that because we respect and love our elders and we take care of them until the day they die. Okay? Cultural hybridization, when we say hybrid, nagko-combine, okay? Like for example, American and Filipino, di ba tayong mga Pinoy, we are a hybrid of nations who conquered us. We have Spanish blood, we have American blood, we even have Japanese blood for the short time that they influenced us. And also because of globalization, ang dami na rin nag-aasawa ng Hapon, di ba? And when we call global hybridization, it combines everything. So it's like in the American culture, usong-uso yung American African music. American Latino dance, 'di ba? So that's called cultural hybridization kasi ang daming Latino and Latina na naging sikat in America like Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, ang dami nila na they integrated even the Black Americans na magagaling mag-rap, 'di ba? So it's called local and global cultures, they integrate and it's called hybridization. What about in convergence? Okay, when you see convergence, para rin siyang hybridization, pero nagkakaroon sila ng pagkakaisa. Ang hybridization kasi, two cultures or more mixed together, while in convergence, they lead into one. Nagiging mix sila. An example of this is the British and American culture. So we all know that the Americans came from Great Britain who escaped, the English people who escaped from the persecution of religion doon sa Inglaterra. The Pilgrims, who are the first settlers of America, came from England. So that's, they have the same culture. They even have the same language but different spelling. And so still, they use the same language, which is English, right? But we have American English and we have British English. So which perspective do you see most reflected in your community? Okay, sa community natin ha, as Filipinos. Okay, slide number... Okay, never mind this question. It's not part of the questions that you need to answer. So question number 1 was in slide number 3. Then question number 2, hindi ko nasasabihin yung slide para you can be challenged to listen further. Once I give you the slide number, medyo mapapadali and you will not pay attention anymore to the rest of the video. Okay? So we're on slide number 7. So slide number 7. So slide number 7 talks about the types of globalization, and we have 5 here to discuss, but it's just the least aspects that we can talk about. So the first one is financial, second is technological, third is political, fourth is economical, and fifth, sociological. So let's discuss them one by one. For slide number 8, okay, let's talk about slide number 8. It's about global financial situation, and this is the global finance map. Okay, for your global finance map, this is what I am going to ask you. So, slide number 8 talks about a country's linkage to international capital market, or its interconnection with the capital market. So, it's a worldwide scale management, including financial activities, investments, financial transactions, international market, international institutions, and cross-border money movement. So, when we say cross-border money movement, one example of that is yung mga pinapadalang dollars ng ating mga OFW. When the money crosses the border to the Philippines, it's already, we have the option to convert it to peso, right? And international institutions, you have your Samsung Galaxy, the Samsung phones that you use. So these are international institutions, the distributors that they have, the distributors internationally, and also in the government, we have the world organizations like the Monetary Fund, IMF, International Monetary Fund, who is sharing the financial support in all countries all over the world. You have your international market. So we have, even in the online, we have Temu, or the all the products came from China, right? And we have also, even in Indonesia, we have Shopee and Lazada. So it's international already. Grab, Philippines was all, wala pa yan dito sa Philippines when I was in Indonesia. At doon, meron ng Grab, meron ng, dito wala pa. Ang tawag doon nga sa amin, Gojek. Okay, so Gojek ang tawag doon. Dito, nagkaroon tayo ng angkas, ng Joyride. Pero actually, it's an international concept at first because we have Uber. Ang Uber, worldwide yan. Okay, so we also have financial activities. Ano po yung mga financial activities natin? Businesses from the US come to the Philippines in the form of BPOs, di ba? And these people, they bring jobs or salaries from other countries. And we have financial transactions, di ba? Conversion of peso to dollar, dollar to peso, di ba? So investments also are being sent here in the Philippines, like the expressways, the bridges, which are sponsored by Japan or China, di ba? These are investments na they are being they are impacting our country's economy. Kung wala po yung mga businesses na yan, if the BPO is not here, it gives a job for a lot of Filipinos. So this globalization in the financial aspect is really a big part of our economy. So later po, may iba pa, economical value, pero meron din yan, di ba? Nandito yon, papasok din yan. So more connections between cities than nations. Meron ding interconnection of global financial systems. Now, slide number 8. How does financial globalization impact your country's economy? So I'm saying again, this is question number, this is activity 1, okay? The part or the front page of your coupon band would be used to create a mind map of how Philippines is linked to international market. No same map, okay? So, kailangan gumawa kayo ng sarili niyong concept map or mind map. Ano bang nakukonect ninyo when you say Philippines as the center, no? For example, you draw Philippines yan sa worldwide scale management, you put Philippines there. And how do you connect financial activities? Ano ba yung mga financial activities na meron tayo? Like for example, BPO, o financial investments, di ba? So, international market, di ba? So, pwede mo rin dyan ilagay. International market for t-shirts, for example. So, after the financial, you check the internet, an example of the mind map. So how would it lead? Like the international market, ano bang mapapasok sa isip mo dyan? Lagyan nyo pa ng branch. Lagyan nyo uli ng branch and it would come like to mind the cell phone. So the cell phone is international market. Where can it be sold? It's selling in China, it's selling in the Philippines, it's selling all over the world. Okay? So from the Philippines here, Marikina shoes, di ba? Marikina shoes could be sold worldwide. Okay, in Italy, for example, sa mga mga fashion shows. Aba, umaariba ang mga Pilipino doon sa shoes and gowns, 'di ba? Designers natin. So kayo pong gagawa ng sarili nyong mind map there. That's for activity number 1. So it's how do you link it to international market? Kailangan iba-iba yung sagot nyo, ha. So you will be going to be expected, kung as much as possible, give at least 10 connections. Okay? 10 connections. That's the least. Okay? Maximum is 20. Okay? 10 to 20 connections in the Philippine international market. Okay? Kayo na pong gagawa niyan. Now, if you have further questions regarding the instruction, feel free to ask me about it after the lecture. Okay, for slide number 9, we're going to talk about financial market and institutions. So ito ang example pa rin. Another example of your mind map. So ganyan. For example, you put Philippine market and institution. So what are the interests? What are the institutions? What are the markets? Parang ganyan yung itsura na magiging mind map nyo. This is an example of it. So just follow through it and hindi kayo mawawala dyan. Okay? So we're moving on to the next type of globalization, which is technological. So it is mentioned there that technology is a facilitator and driver of globalization. So how has technology changed the way you interact with the world? So before, for my personal example, I have been writing letters to pen pals all over the world. So I have female and male friends that I found on a comics. Diba? So minsan sa comics, sa magazine, we have available people who are able to interact with them pa noon. We don't have emails yet. We even send postcards and photos. Hinang namin with dedication pa yon sa back ng photo. But nowadays, technology has changed, right? If you have an OFW mom or dad, my mom was an OFW and my father too also was also far away from us nang kami ay lumalaki. And communication was very, very difficult. Okay? So, mahirap po. Mahirap. So, pero ngayon, meron na. All people all over the world, your friends, your relatives, you can get in touch with them with just one click of the phone, right? So, advantages of technology and culture, it bridge cultural divides and connects people across borders. So, even in games, right? I am playing, ano nga ba tong game na nilalaro ko? Word Wars, which is a Scrabble actually. Internationally, I am connecting with people across borders. I have been meeting people from Canada, from US, from Greenland, Iceland. So parang what everybody's playing this, downloading the app, and we can chat and even like oh, nice game. We talk, we become friends with them. However, the disadvantage of technology in that culture is that the risk of homogenizing culture and erasing cultural differences. Bakit naging negative yon? If it comes to the larger aspect, di ba? Like for example, alam kong UAE does not do FaceTime in Facebook, right? Because they want to preserve their culture. Saudi Arabia also, bawal din. Kasi you cannot even take photos of religious places or people in Saudi Arabia without their consent. And also religious places, parang bawal yata eh. I know, kasi ano, yung pamangkin po ng husband ko has been working in Saudi Arabia and marami daw bawal sa pagpipicture. And it's because they don't want to raise na pinapakialaman ng kultura nila. Second advantage of technology and culture, it improves communication and collaboration across culture. And the negative no, ng the disadvantage is the threat to traditional cultural practices and heritage. And yun nga, parang pareho lang, no? So, provides access to cultural resources and information to a wider audience. Okay, we expose what we're good at. Like, for example, AGT, BGT, or Pilipinas Got Talent in American Got Talent. Di ba pag pumasok yung mga Filipinos there singing, they usually get praised because they are very good singers now. So it provides us with a wider audience internationally. Sumisikat tayo internationally. But the difficulty of regulating online content and protecting cultural sensitivities, nawawala na rin yon. For example, di ba, uh, ano nga ba to? Yun nga, yung sa, for example, in India, for joining the Miss Universe. Saan ba nalalaman ng mga taong to ang Miss Universe, ng mga ladies doon? Nakikita nila na expose sila kasi sa online content. And there's one certain Pakistani, I think in Pakistan, bawal sa kanila yung nag-expose ng katawan. And what happened is that because of being exposed to worldwide content in the net, nagiging aware tong mga kababaihan that they have the right to show off what they have. And one certain woman got killed by her siblings kasi pinahiya daw yung pamilya nila because she wore a two-piece suit in a beauty contest. So parang nagiging malaking uh, big no-no para sa kanila ang pagkopya ng lahat ng kultura na nasa ibang bansa. So providing you platforms is one advantage of technology for expression and creativity. So TikTok, di ba, is one platform kung saan natin pinapakita yung ating creativity. So the challenges of maintaining cultural diversity in the digital age is andun din sa disadvantages. Improving the sharing of cultural experiences and stories is very easy in the use of technology, but human relationships and human interactions daw are devalued in technology-driven cultures. For example, tayo, di ba, kumakain na lang, nasa cellphone pang attention ng lahat. So I hope it doesn't happen in Japan. Kasi yan yung isang disadvantage of modern technology. So I would like you to go back to slide number 10 to address question number 3, but I won't be mentioning that here. You just need to go back to slide number 10 for question number 3. So slide 11 is this one, okay? Slide number 11, don't mind this question. Answer it in your mind only. How do you think political globalization affects global government or governance, influences global governance? And how does it affect, di ba, kahit ngayon, di ba, we see it in the West Philippine Seas that globalization has global impact. When the Chinese bullies the Filipino vessels, all the other countries react and they say and they condemn the way they deal with our sailors and with our ships. Anong nangyayari doon? US, Australia, and other neighboring countries or members of the certain treaties protects each other in the West Philippine Seas. So this happens because we have global political dimension and government policies. Now, let's move to the next slide. Slide number 12, we talk about the political globalization, which refers to the process by which political decisions and activities are becoming increasingly internationalized, leading to a diminishing role of national borders and a rise in global governance structures. So what are the examples of these global governance structures? So first of all, we have the United Nations. So United Nations, we all know, is a federation of 193 members already. And these countries help one another through many things, from food to health to human rights. And we, as members of that certain organization, the United Nations organization, is celebrating it every year because we believe in their policies and political governance. It helps everyone in the world be united as one. So marami pong aspeto to. We have for the children, we have for food, we have for safety, we have for human rights. Yun pong mga ipinaglalaban ng United Nations. Next one is the European Union. This European Union is created from countries in Europe. So meron pong 27 European nations na nagkaisa to create this European Union. I think they have like, tulad natin sa Southeast Asia, di ba? We have our agreements that once we go to Singapore, we will have visa-free travel for 30 days. In Indonesia, in Thailand, in Burma, anywhere, in Vietnam, anywhere here in Southeast Asia, kapag galing ka sa isang country in Southeast Asia, you will be welcome for 30 days as tourist sa isang bansa in the neighboring countries. In that 1 month, pwede ka na nga maghanap ng trabaho and then find a sponsor, or the employer that you find will be the one to sponsor your work visa. Ganon din po sa European Union. Ganyan ang ginawa nila. And every border is open for all the members of the European countries. And I think they share the same currency and the same culture. So it's like the Southeast Asian nations as well. So the next one is NATO, or North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which has 32 countries involved, and they are actually helping each other with military resources, or military alliances, collective defense. They also have decisions and consultations in supports certain fights like Ukraine and Russian war. They side with Ukraine. Okay, so next one is the World Trade Organization. WTO is a global trade ruler of 160 countries. Okay, so World Trade Organization, sila po ay nakikialam sa market access. They also take care of product coverage, kung ano yung pwede mong ibenta, ano yung hindi. Like for example, drugs, illegal drugs, wildlife, human trafficking. So medyo sila dito ang nakikipag laban ng mga ganyan, di ba? It's they set the boundaries of what is legal and what is not legal in the international market. So the last one is the ICC. Medyo familiar sa atin ngayon to dahil ito yung kalaban ng previous president natin, si Rodrigo Duterte. So it seeks to hold to account the guilty of some national or world's worst crimes. Kapag hindi daw nagbubulag-bulagan daw yung country, like for example, what happened sabi nila, with the judicial killing ng mga addicts daw, nadadamay lahat. So there's injustice, nagbulag-bulagan ang administration ng Philippines. What happened is that ICC, or International Criminal Court, will meddle or makikialam sila with the country's politics. So what happened is that ICC can meddle or pwede makialam sa nangyayari sa atin if we are a member of this criminal court system. And I don't know, sabi nila daw kumalas ng Philippines, that's why wala na tayong pananagutan sa ICC. Also, North Korea is not a part of ICC. I said they don't want to be investigated din, di ba, internationally. And anything injustice and the rights of the people there, hindi din natin may palaban. So Adolf Hitler, sino pa ba, mga Khmer Rouge, yung mga killing sa Cambodia. So marami pa. International Criminal Court takes care of that. Slide number 13 talks about the ecological aspect or type of globalization. Earth is a single ecosystem. So marami tayong global environmental challenges. It's even felt nowadays, di ba? Global warming, climate change, shortage of food supply, volcano, si Taal hindi na po nananahimik talaga. Energy, laging brown out, kulang ang kuryente, epidemic diseases, impacts for now. After COVID-19, the disease that scared the world. Chemicalization, it's the use of too much chemicals in food and all the things that we consume or use. Okay, what about demography? For demography, it's overpopulation, deals with overpopulation. The births, kung ilan ang pinapanganak sa mundo, ilan ang nagmamigrate, ilan ang namamatay. Biodiversity loss, so the Philippine eagle is already reduced in numbers dahil we witness another death of a Philippine eagle na namatay na naman recently. We have deforestation all over the world. We have wildfires in America and other countries. Ocean acidification. What's acidification? Nawawala na po yung balance ng asin at ng ng alat at hindi alat sa ocean. Masyado nang nawawala ng chemicals for the pH balance. Meron din tayong freshwater problems. Anong freshwater problems natin? Yung hindi dagat, ito ang mga inner water system natin, dumudumi, hinulugang taktak is very smelly na Antipolo. 'Di ba? We have also our mga sapa. Our sewage system is very full of plastics, kaya hindi nakakadalo yung tubig. The air quality that we have, I'm so glad I live in a place wherein we are surrounded by mountains with trees and plants. Kaya fresh ang aming hangin every time I pass through the very populated areas within Metro Manila and come to our place, malapit sa aming lugar. Naku, alam ko na that I am smelling the fresh air of the mountains of Antipolo. Earthquakes also are very rampant, di ba? Maraming nangyayaring heavy earthquakes na. So these types of globalization affects our ecological aspect ng ating buhay. These are global environmental challenges, and how does globalization enter this? Every time na may earthquake, we send help, 'di ba? Meron nga bagong version ng We Are the World because of the Haiti earthquake, wherein people from the America also wanted to ask for donations from all over the world to welcome and help these Haitan people or Haitian people so that matulungan natin sila. So we also have the Greenpeace, okay? Greenpeace will help us in dealing with the ocean, okay? Yung ocean naman ang kanilang inaalagaan. Plastics in the ocean, the animals trapped in plastic nets or in plastics and nets, feeding on plastics, di ba? Namamatay dahil sa plastic, okay? So we also have deforestation, meron din yan, di ba? Sa epidemic diseases, we are coordinating from China, from Russia, from all over the world to get the COVID vaccine before, di ba? Ang dami nating United States na naging donor ng epidemic diseases treatment natin. So energy resources, so food supplies, climate change is also talked about in the global aspect. So ngayon, question na to. Ang question na dito na nandito sa slide 13, slide number 13. Never mind. Hindi pala siya kailangang sagutan. So, how do global environment challenges your local community? Mamaya na lang yan. Kasi, in the end, yan yung gagawin nyo. Okay? It's another activity for you at the end of the lecture. So, to deal with those climate and environmental problems all over the world, we have certain laws that protect animals and plants, mga land and development ng land. Kailangan mo nang kumuha ng mga permit ngayon, di ba? Mining and exploration, forestry, pollution, marami pong mga binigay na pong mga law about this one. Land and fire management. So, bago ka maka-open ng iyong building na bagong construct, you should get a fire permit, di ba? Fire clearance, na meron kang first defense against fire. We have also waste management. Pinapahiwalay sa atin ang nabubulok at ginabubulok. Climate change and emissions have meron ding mga certain laws about this na, di ba, nagpapa-emission test bago ka kumuha ng registration of your yearly registration of your vehicle kung meron kayong sasakyan. Water resource management. So, meron tayong water interruptions dahil inaayos ang ating water system. Meron din tayong mga batas na etong certain place could be dedicated to make a dam or balang araw gagawing dam. So, meron tayong chemical and pesticides, meron tayong mga batas tungkol dyan. Sa chemicals and pesticides, chemicals in food, kapag sobra-sobra ang chemicals, maaaring hindi approve ng FDA or Food and Drug Administration. With an invasive species, yan, may mga gamot laban sa di ba? Pwede na yan sa agriculture and farming actually. Marine life is also protected kapag nanghuhuli ng fish, bawal kang ng bomb, di ba? Or bawal mong i-dynamite fishing. Conservation of natural and cultural heritage, hindi basta-bastang pwede mong sirain ang isang antigong lugar or building. We have certain rules na or batas na hindi mo dapat sisirain na ganyan according to National Historical Commission natin, di ba? So, hindi mo basta-basta masisira lahat yan. So, we have treaties and environmental issues at may mga batas na po tayo na nangangalaga sa mga yan. Ang problema lang dyan, syempre, pagsunod po. The last aspect of globalization or the last type of globalization that we are going to discuss about is sociological. So, the idea of global citizenship and universal standards, yun po ang tinatawag nating global citizens. When you say global citizens, we can romp or we can go from one place to another. Napakadali lang naman eh. All you have to do is have a passport and apply for a visa, apply for a job. Naku, kung ako sa inyo, if I were you, you are very young, you do this. We are all global citizens and the world is open for everyone. All you have to do is acquire the specific sets of skills needed by that country and you will be able to go to their country. So, certain issues like capital punishment and gender equality are global issues. Ano po yung rights and privileges? For example, in the US, some states marry homosexual partners. And what happens is that in the Philippines, in the same-sex marriage is not allowed. And the capital punishment, Philippines does not approve of death, diba? Death penalty, wherein in some countries, death penalty is okay. Kapag sa ibang countries ka naman nahuli, what happens is that, batas nila, susundin mo. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. So, yun ang mag-a-apply sa'yo. Kung ano yung batas sa bansang pinuntahan mo, yun po ang susundin. So, it's a big issue all over the world. So, sometimes, kailangan matuto tayong mag-cultivate ng relationship with other countries and with other people. Once you are in other places, di ba, migration is very easy, di ba? Madadala mo pamilya mo. For example, during the 1990s and 80s, the American dream ng mga Filipinos is very cultivated that time. So, even my father, nandun kasama sa mga American dreamers and he's a green card holder right now. But it's not my dream to be in the United States. Okay na ako sa Pilipinas or anywhere else. But hindi lang America kasi nowadays. You can be a global citizen of all countries of the world if you have the right skill and the right employers na mahanap po ninyo. And even employers can be found online. Napakadali lang po. My experience in teaching in an international school in Indonesia was only found online. I applied online on a certain website para lang to submit my resume, and what I learned is once I was interviewed, the employer contacted me he gave me 4 days to fly to Indonesia to teach in their international school, and voila, I was there. Everything was very easy. I just packed some clothes and had my passport and took, bought my ticket, and I was there. Ganun ka-easy po. And before reaching that certain part of Indonesia, I had to travel through Malaysia. I had to travel through Singapore. You have a lot of options, and it gave me cultural experiences that's different from the what I have in the Philippines. And we have your dito nga sa kabila o sa picture, local awareness, local and global combined. Okay, so there in Indonesia, I had Filipino community, which gives me the local experience of sharing Filipino food every Sunday with everybody and talking in Filipino language. But it becomes global when we're in school. We only use the English language and we're not allowed to use our local dialect or our local languages. So, so this cultivates relationship with the sharing of your skills and knowledge, and it benefits the country. So in the U.S., Filipinos are also needed. Filipino teachers, Filipino nurses. So we have individual works there that are being shared globally, di ba? The hospital needs the nurses, Filipino nurses come, and it gives them a different experience in taking care. They see the difference how Americans and other other nationalities take care of the patients, di ba? So, Filipino teachers are also very good din worldwide, di ba? They are in demand worldwide. So, nasa inyo na lang po yan kung paano nyo po ayusin ang sarili nyo to become global citizens. Don't you want to do that before you get married? So, gawin nyo muna yan because the world is open for everybody. Okay? So, don't be hesitant to become a global citizen. Mga jet setter na kayo, balang araw makikita ko na lang, oh, ma'am, nasa Thailand na po ako ngayon. I'm teaching elementary or high school students. Ma'am, I'm in Myanmar. Ma'am, I'm in Vietnam. Ang dami pong Filipino teachers all over Southeast Asia that's being in demand. Diba? Hindi ko naman sinasabing not to work here in the Philippines, but if you have other options to be exposed to different cultures all over the world, it's a very big point for professional growth and personal growth nyo bilang tao, di ba? So, that's it. That's for global citizenship. Now, does this question, what does being a global citizen means to you? Slide number 15. Yeah, this is question number 4. So question number 4, what does being a global citizen mean to you? Okay? What does it mean to you to become a global citizen? So para sa akin yung sagot ko kanina. I hop from one plane to another to serve one country to another. Diba? Diba ang galing-galing na maging global citizen? Nasa inyo po yan. Pwede rin kayo maging global citizen by spreading awareness on the internet na pinaglalaban nyo. No Plastic Day. Diba? No to plastic. Naging member kayo ng Greenpeace. Naging member kayo ng mga international na mga, even without leaving the school, di ba? There are different platforms on becoming a global citizen. Ako, naging part ako ng OFW. That's my being a global citizen. Now, slide number 16. Take note ha, nasa question number 4 na po tayo, slide 15. Okay, now we're on slide number 16, advantages and disadvantages of globalization naman po ang pag-uusapan natin. For advantages of globalization, we have free trade and technology transfer. Okay, ano yung free trade, di ba? You can order from somewhere in China through Shopee, Lazada, or Temu, di ba? Pwede rin sa Amazon.com or eBay. So, free trade and technology transfer. Increase employment and educational opportunities. Okay. Koreans and Japanese people are hiring virtual or assistant teachers for learning English as second language. Diba? Increase employment sa atin. Ano pa yon? Ang BPO. The jobs opened in America are being shifted here in the Philippines. When I was in the call center industry. I worked there for more than a year actually. I was a ticketing agent for United Airlines, and it's a job for Americans which was sent here in the Philippines in the form of the BPO industry. So, educational opportunities are also open for everyone. Pwede na tayo may Fulbright scholarship for teachers. You can be an exchange student in America kapag magaling ka and you will be applying for the Fulbright scholarship every year. Pwede ka pong pumasa doon if you want to have that educational opportunity. Faster information flow. So, everywhere in the world, you can access already in the World Wide Web. Kung anong mga nangyayari. YouTube is also a way of learning things from one country to another. Pwede, di ba? Minsan, how to deal with problems on a cell phone or in the computer. We get answers from Indian people or people from India who are good in technology, right? So can you identify any direct benefits of globalization in your life? That would be question number 5 sa slide 16. Okay, slide 17. With slide number 17, we have 2 questions. We have 8 questions pala, sorry. Okay, later. Sige lang, tuloy-tuloy na natin. For slide number 17, this will be your question number 6 na. Sa slide 17, unfair disadvantages of globalization, unfair working conditions and health hazards. Ano pong example niyan? Okay, one example for that is, what's the unfair working conditions? Kasi sa US, ang minimum wage nila is $4,500. I think that's the basic kasi I had one customer when I was taking the calls for United Airlines. It was a woman crying and she said, "You took away my job." Why? These Americans, she said, "How much is your salary?" They were paying, of course I will not give her that information because it's against the rules. May nakikinig pa yan sa'yo habang you are making the call. So I was not telling them the salary, and she said they were paying me $4,500 for that job, and I lose my job because you Filipinos took our jobs. Diba? So unfair working conditions, nawalan sila ng trabaho, sinend sa atin. Binigay sa atin. Ano din ang unfair sa atin? We are only earning $500 to $1,000, ha? They are just paying us that amount. For one American employee, they can take as much as 5 to 10 people in that certain industry. Diba? How sad. Parang unfair, diba? If you're paying those people $4,500, why not make it like even just half? Diba? If not full, di ba? Okay, so they transfer their business here, which is good for them, for the capitalist. Kasi nakatipid sila. And they get a lot of Filipinos and Indians who are also good in English. Kasi they also set up BPOs in India. So in United Airlines, dalawa lang mapupuntahan ng calls ng customers namin in India or in Philippines. Okay, so health hazards. What's the health hazard in the BPO business? Karamihan sa inyo doon ang punta niyan before you were able to pass the board exam or take the board exam. Sayang ang mga araw and these BPO industries are very in demand of human resources. So health hazards is that umaga doon, gabi sa atin. We work, we adjust to them, diba? And although you don't feel it yet dahil bata pa kayo, when you get older, night sleep is different from day sleep, I'm telling you. Okay? So, rapid spread of diseases in zombie movies. No, not just zombie movies, but COVID was also transferred very quickly through airports, di ba? People travel from one country to another, and it's the rapid spread of diseases. Also, ecological problems like climate change because of basura in emission of carbon dioxide. So have you witnessed or experienced any downsizing of globalization or any downsizes? Yung anong mga negative effects of globalization? That would be question number 6. Okay, 6. Next slide. Slide number 18. Okay, we have 2 questions. So this is going to be number 7 and 8. Okay, 8 questions, ah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So we have 8 questions instead of 7. Okay, in a balanced view, globalization have its advantages and disadvantages naman. Siyempre, di ba? How can we mitigate or paano ba natin mapipigilan or hindi man ma-stop but mapatagal while enhancing the positive one, ang negative effects. So we have globalization and its impacts, we have the benefits and the risk. Okay, threat to sovereignty, interdependence, inequitable distribution, foreign direct investment, technological innovation, economies on scale. So, itong mga negative and positive natin, paano ba natin yan mababalance? So, how can we mitigate the negative effects while enhancing the positive ones? Okay? Medyo malalim siyang tanong, di ba? But I'd like you to write down your answer. Ang mga sagot nyo po sa mga questions na to could be 3 to 5 sentences only, okay? So, if it's a 3-sentence answer, at maganda naman yung sagot nyo, you get 5 points, okay? But if you need to have more supporting information, then make it 5 para ma-perfect nyo yung 5. So, what steps can we take as global citizens to promote an equitable and balanced globalization? Paano natin mababalanse? Sorry, medyo you just natatakpan ko kasi and just take note kung ano yung sinabi ko, yun na lang isulat nyo. Okay, what steps can we take as global citizens to promote an equitable and balanced globalization? Okay, so yun na lang po, pwede nyo ulit-ulitin na yun. Okay, so slide number 18. These last 2 slides number 19 and 20, would be activity 2, which will be submitted in the GC for 1 week. Okay, 1 week. GC po ito meaning in the Facebook Messenger. So I'll be expecting your answers within a week until the day before the next meeting. Okay, for example, if our class is Monday, I'm expecting every picture of you living without plastic, okay? And these are the ways that you will be living without plastics on the next page, on the next slide. Okay, so this last slide, itong last slide na to, will be your beginner step to a plastic-less lifestyle. So, papakita nyo po in the picture on how you do support a day without using any plastic. Okay? So, huwag kayong magpipicture kasama yung kaibigan nyo hindi kasama yung taong plastic dyan. Okay? So, we will be using, following these steps, okay? You can carry reusable shopping bags. Pakita nyo na namamalengke kayo. Video or picture can do, okay? Nasa inyo po yan. Pero, mas maganda yung video, di ba? Video, o sige, video na lang. Okay, video on how you use reusable shopping bags while doing the market or your grocery. Okay, or you can make up your own bag. Okay, video kahit ilang seconds lang, 'di ba? Give up bottled water. Okay, you show us how you take care of your aqua flask, social, or your Tupperware, or anything that you reuse na bottled water or how you reuse certain water containers that you have. You can also show it like say no to plastic produced bags, like for example imbis na bibigyan ka pa ng plastic bag, pinasok mo na lang siya sa bag mo sa backpack mo. Like for example, may binili kang isda, hindi mo din na pinalagay sa plastic, you put it inside your bag. Sorry, joke lang. Okay, if you have your own eco bag, di ba, na pwede mong paglagyan ng inyong anything that you bought from the market. or pass on a single-use straw. Okay? So, instead of using a single-use straw, meron kang baon-baon na sarili mong metal straw. Okay? Buy from bulk bins or familiarize yourself with bulk options in your city and stock up what you need. You can use any repurposed containers and jars, cotton bulk sacks, or paper bags. Yung mga binili mong malalaki, di ba? Yung sako, for example, bumili kayo ng bigas for the week or for the month, bumili ka ng isang sako. You reuse that sack as garbage bag, di ba? Skip on single-use utensils, like for example, plastic fork and spoons. May baon-baon pa sarili mong plastic na, meron kang sariling baong kutsara tinidor, di ba? And then also when shopping, choose products in sustainable packaging, free from plastic or free from packaging altogether. Diba? Kapag nagsha-shopping ka ng shoes, pwede mo na ilagay sa bag mo, diba? Kasama ng mga notebook mo kung bago mo yung shoes, or you wrap it up in a piece of paper para medyo sustainable naman yung packaging. Pwede ma-recycle yung papel, diba? So, I think that's for your activity 2. Okay, a short video sent to the GC or the Facebook Messenger. Okay? Gusto ko makita ng lahat. Kaya, I'm not using a Google Drive or whatever. Pero gusto ko kasi nakikita ng lahat whatever you're sharing. Pero kung minsan, kapag answers to the questions, hindi na po yung pwede sa GC natin. It's going to be submitted in your GCR. Okay? So, the coupon band, you take a photo or you type the soft copy answer, pwede mo rin mong gawin yan sa GCR. And also, take a photo of your mind map for activity 1. This is activity 2, the last part of it. Okay, so if you have any questions, class, feel free to take note of them and ask me in the short G-Meet we will have after the lecture or before we meet again in the next chapter of our lesson. So, goodbye, class, and thank you, and feel free to ask the questions after this lecture. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.